Everybody rolled in. I'm back. I'm going to play my intro just because it's the right thing to do. Check it out. Let's go.
You are about to enter a world of true crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I hope everybody makes it back to the live stream. We had quite a good one here. And I want you to know I'm doing all of this honestly because it's so much work, but I enjoy it and I have a passion for it. And I'm here because I have a passion for it. But then I started getting into all these cases, and now I gotta help justice, and we all gotta help justice. And I feel like we're helping bring justice and awareness to these cases. Look at what happened yesterday. Today we're here, we're back, and we're talking about Sebastian Rogers. So I'm going to put that down there. He's still missing everybody. Nothing's happened on the update for that. I wish we would have came back to say Sebastian Rogers was found and brought home, and he was he was happy and healthy, or even if he was kidnapped, got some therapy to do, something like that. But unfortunately, that's not what we're here to say today. I am here to tell you that we made our goal. Our goal yesterday, justice and to bring Sebastian home. Number 2, we want to call the Proudfoots out. After watching the video and watching Seth Rogers talk about what has happened, we want the Proudfoots to be accountable. And we want Mr. Deception Detective to analyze their videos and their interviews. And guess what? We did it, everybody. He's going to do it. So I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'm going to read the response from Katie Proudfoot. That pissed her off. Were you guys on the live last night? Did you get to see the live? I hope so. If you saw the live, you saw how powerful it was and what Seth Rogers said. And it's pretty crazy because it pissed Katie off and the Proudfoots. Let's hear Katie defend her own ass. We're gonna hear her defend her own ass, but we're gonna have to hear it in my words because she didn't even have enough. I don't even know what to say because she doesn't have balls. We hope, but she didn't have enough balls to go ahead and get on and do a stream or to address it in her own words. She had to go on to Reddit. And let me show you something really cool, just so you can see that we made our goal. Everybody, can you see that? Let me see if I can go full screen. Check it out. It's not letting me go full screen, but as everybody's rolling in, I hope everybody else comes back for the Sebastian Rogers case because he's still missing and we still need justice for him. And the lies do continue. So there is Mr. Deception Detective. Everybody should check out his... I have notifications on. Check out his page. He calls How to Bury the Truth, featuring Nancy Grace. Does that say something to you? Do you see his side? Do you see what he's saying there? So I can tell by the way he labels things. And when he labels Seth Rogers, he says innocence on there. This says search and how to bury the truth. And he has these people's faces blasted. So we're all waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow it premieres. April 6th, and I think it's like in the morning. It's 9:30 a.m. So everybody, we did it. We made our goal. Yes. You guys are awesome, and the crime crew, you guys are so freaking amazing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. So we're gonna stop sharing this, and we're gonna hear the we're gonna hear this lady's we're gonna hear Katie Proudfoot's response, okay? Wow. Yeah, why leave and sell your house, everybody? There's so much. We did 3.5 hours yesterday. The lies continue. Why leave and sell your house? Why not be searching? Why not be out there searching? Why didn't she tell us at any time about the abuse that Sebastian endured? Why did she only tell us that he would grunt and make noises? He was aggressive. Why did we only hear negative things from her? And again, we're going to hear more deflection and more negative things. She implied I am Two Bears. She implied that being a victim is an embarrassment. That's why people don't tell. Agreed. We're going to get into all that. And I hope you saw my video earlier because it came out. And to me, that's breaking news when I haven't seen it and you haven't seen it. So I read it for you. So there's a little video in there that I did. Yeah. CJK. Why is this case so odd? Where is sweet Sebastian? Why are the parents saying what they are? Did you catch my live last night? We're going to have another one. We're going to do a reaction to Deception Detective's reaction. This is going to be Deception Detective and I are the dream team. I believe so too. I love him. I just bought his deceptive deck, everybody, his deception deck. It's like $70, but it's freaking worth it. And when I get it, I'm going to use the deception deck to detect people so we can use his language, everybody. She lied in the Reba voice. Yes. All right, everybody. Let's get to that so that we can also hear what other YouTubers are saying about her response. Some people don't believe me. Some people are asking me why. Oh, that wasn't her. I bet you that was Seth that did that. No, I'm not lying, everybody. I'm going to show you her response right now. And it came from Reddit. Okay. So let me show you this and I'll read it. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. There it is. Okay, everybody. If you can't see it, maybe you don't have a big enough screen. It came from Reddit. This says Katie Proudfoot. I promise you it came from Katie Proudfoot on Reddit. Now I'm going to read it to you. Here's the response from yesterday. All right. This is the response from the video at the end of my live yesterday. Katie Proudfoot. Here's her response, and then we'll respond to her response. That child was not 13 years old, or I'm sorry, start over. That child was not 13, and we did not allow my son to be abused. We contacted all authorities. My son received all the available help he could. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know. He went with the doctor and got checked immediately. And then she goes on to say Seth was involved in his therapy as well. There are so many lies in this story, including him failing to mention where Seth got banned from. The base for his violent tendencies were at the time my son was seeing psychiatrists and psychologists to help him with the trauma from Seth's abuse and trauma from being assaulted by this child. Let me be clear. I think it's sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. My son deserves better than that. When we find him, and I believe in my heart we will, the truth will come out. He is doing the best to slander us as parents, but my son is loved and cared for and always will be. Public opinion based on lies, assumptions, half truth is rampant because of these things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. I will not stoop so low as to partake in the back and forth argument. God knows the truth. The truth always comes out. Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian because that is the most important thing. All right. I had to stop myself from reading that and not commenting on it, everybody. All right. I got it out. Sorry if that hurt your ears, but that made me so mad. Now I'm going to comment on it, and then we're going to listen to a really good YouTuber's take on this, and we're going to hear him break it down the way he does, and I'm going to break it down the way I do, and then we'll go back. You heard it, folks. Katie Proudfoot is not going to engage in the behavior that Seth Rogers did. She's not going to stoop so low to respond back. Did everybody hear that? She just responded back. I know I'm probably yelling, but she just responded back. She just stooped that low to respond back when she said she wasn't going to respond back to him responding back. What in the hell is going on with this case, everybody? And why she's lying to our faces, okay? So I'm sorry if I got really loud, but I'm passionate. And it's lie after lie after lie, everybody. She definitely is going to stoop low to search for her son's body. She's not going to stoop low to search for her son's body, everybody. It's just lie after lie. And Stephanie says, yeah, well, Scotland has not proven to. Some things just make more sense there. That's funny. All right. So let's see what other comments do we have, and then I'll go. Now we know they're watching the YouTube videos. Yes, they're watching the YouTube videos, and her response was ridiculous. I'm gonna go back and tell you why. Such ridiculousness to say that, and bringing God into it is the lowest form, everybody. When someone brings God into it, only God knows the truth. That's very preachy to me. Those people did not bring God up any other time. I did not hear them say anything about God, or they're going to pray to God, or have prayers for my son. But now she's going to bring God into it. Only God knows. So the half truths and lies were perpetuated by their own behavior and their own statements. You're absolutely right. I am too, Bear. And you know what? Mr. Deception Detective's going to detect that tomorrow, and we're going to do a reaction to it. So I want everybody to flood his channel tomorrow, because if you flood his channel, then he's going to do another video and react to the next one. And we want to expose these people if there's something to expose. So let's go through it real quick, and then we're going to watch how YouTube responds to it. Katie Proudfoot in freaking Reddit. She went on Reddit and did this. Didn't go somewhere, didn't go on YouTube, didn't go call Nancy Grace back and said, I need to clear these things up. She didn't call somebody and that, has relevance to clear it up to the world, okay? She says, my child wasn't 13. We didn't allow him to be abused. No, you didn't allow him to be abused, Katie, but he was abused, okay? He was abused. So maybe you think you didn't allow him to be abused. I made it a little bit bigger, everybody, so you can see it. You didn't allow him to be abused, but he was. And what does this mean, everybody, when she says we contacted all authorities? Who's all authorities? Why is she always so vague in her statements? She always says big words or big, like, big word, or they name drop. Oh, the FBI. Oh, the police department. It's like an all-encompassing blanket statement that her and her husband are always dropping these blanket statements. What is all available help? What does that mean? Who's all people? Who's all authorities? What are you talking about? His doctor, and then she says in all caps, did know he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Do any of you believe that he went to the doctor and got checked immediately? And why did we not hear it? Yeah, I am too, Bear. You're absolutely right. You know who goes on Reddit? Stephen Stern's like Reddit too. Very suspicious to me. Why didn't she go to a platform? She had lots of platforms to go and rebuttal that, and she didn't. All right, let's keep going on this. I read it, but I have to tell you my thoughts. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. Well, that's good. Seth is a good dad. Thank you for clearing that up, Katie, that Seth was involved in his therapy, because, wow, that's what a good dad would do. There's so many lies in this story, including him failing to mention where Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies, where at the time my son was seeing a psychiatrist and psychologist to help him deal with the trauma from Seth's abuse and trauma from being assaulted by this child. First of all, there's no commas in any of this or any periods. This lady's just going on a rant. She obviously got really pissed off and she's watching our YouTube videos. But deflection, and more deflection, everybody. Does anyone see that in that long ass statement she just made? What? There's a bunch of lies. Yeah, you and your husband are lying a whole bunch and giving half truths. But then you go on to blame Seth after you just said he was at the therapy as well, to deflect on Seth and talk about him being abusive to who? To Sebastian? What? He assaulted his child? What? What is this lady talking about, everybody? I truly like don't understand why they think that they're not being shady. Linda, how soon after Sebastian went missing did she leave her home? Wasn't it very quickly after? Did Katie even search anywhere? That's a good question. You got to watch all the interviews. I don't I don't see anything that stands out to me that says she was out there doing searches. I'm not saying she didn't search at all, but she definitely didn't stay very long. She took off, she gave up. I think she got fired. Yes, Julie, total deflection in all of this. Yeah, funny Seth doesn't remember being involved, right? Seth, to me, is 100% real. I think he's desperate at this point to find his son, and that's why he's spilling all this tea, everybody. I don't think he wanted to air that out about his son, but if it's going to help find his son, he's airing it out. When we get to the bottom of this statement, this has something to do with finding his son, lady. She's going to deflect again and say he's doing his best to slander us as parents. Well, he's a parent too, and he's the one out searching. He's the one out organizing search teams 24/7. The man doesn't sleep. The man's back hurts. The man's in pain. You can see him struggling, everybody. You can see Seth deteriorating while these Proudfoot parents that they call Proudfoots are in an RV on freaking vacation. My son is loved and cared for and always will be. No, he's not loved and cared for because you don't know where he is, lady. He's missing, lady. You don't know when the last time he was home, lady. And if you do, you're not telling us. So that whole statement is completely false. When she says, my son is loved and cared for and always will be. Raise your hand if you think that's true. It's not true because she doesn't know where he is. And thank you, Linda, from watching us from Newfoundland, Canada. Appreciate it. And everyone was just watching the Soto case. I had 3 times more amount of people involved in that last episode. I don't know why the Sebastian Rogers case isn't getting as much traction, but I'm happy with the crime crew that is here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope some of you guys got gifted memberships. All right, let's keep going, and then we're going to listen to the next YouTuber. Public opinion, which means you guys. You, and me. Public opinion is based on lies, assumptions, and half truth. Well, it's only half truth, Katie, because you're only telling part of the truth, Katie. You're not telling a lot of things, Katie and Chris. You're lying and deflecting, okay? So half truth, they're running rampant because of things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. It actually has everything to do with finding Sebastian because we're trying to find out what you know, Katie and Chris. When's the last time you saw him? Why did you hear a thud? Why aren't the police dogs smelling him outside of the house? Then she goes on to say, I will not stoop so low to partake in a back and forth argument with him. She just did. Does everyone see this? Do you see that we're on Reddit right now and we're going over this? You're firing back shots. If it's not helping to find your son, why are you saying it? Why are you going back and forth on freaking Reddit? All right. On Reddit, people, think about that. Then she says, and she's going to throw God in there, capital G-O-D. Now, I believe in God and I believe prayers work, but I don't think this lady's praying for her son to come home every day. God knows the truth, and the truth always comes out. Well, everybody that says that is guilty. Okay, you know who said that? Letitia Stout. Letitia also said, God knows, and the truth always comes out. God knows the truth. Does anyone remember Letitia? Does anyone remember what Letitia said? Think about that. Yes, Sadie's mama. Seth is searching, and you are not. Bottom line, enough said. You and Mr. Bigfoot, whatever your name is, are not searching. Susan Smith also said that. Look at Katie. You're just racking up the points with your audience and the public. Keep racking them up. I hope you see this video. Let's like this video, share this video, subscribe if you haven't. Let's get this video to Chris and Katie so she can react to this. Let's get Seth. We don't actually want Seth in this. Poor Seth. I feel really bad for him, but I'd like Katie to see this response. Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian, because that is what's most important. Oh, yeah, Katie? Then why aren't you out looking for him? Why are you hiding? Why are you in an RV on vacation with your husband? Why? Yeah. Oh my God, look at all these. We got Letitia. We got Casey Anthony. I won't even say this out loud because, my channel and being monitored and all. Monetized. We got to get the monetization up, everybody. We definitely, as much as I like to be here all the time, and I love you all, being monetized is pretty cool too, because, well, yeah. Let's bring Sebastian home. Let's bring Sebastian Rogers home. That's why we're here today. If you have money or means to donate, please donate to the channel. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Those are free methods. There's a membership link. Also, my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. This is not about me, but I do want you to know, right when I started YouTubing, my roof fell in. My roof fell into my house. My roof fell into my house, into my ceiling, into my room. So half of my house is not being occupied right now because my roof fell in. So anything helps right now. I usually don't ask for anything, but if you could do anything, just like, subscribe, and share. Anything helps. If I have 2,000 people on my channel and everybody gave a buck, that would help. I appreciate you all. And let's listen to the YouTuber that is going to talk about this now. We want to hear what YouTube has to say. So I'm going to stop with Katie's response. We're going to stop all this nonsense because we know that Letitia said the same thing, and Susan Smith and all these other people. And we're going to watch this response, which is fantastic. All right, let's do that together. Right. Sorry, no volume.
From Katie.
Let's go. One more time.
All right. So in a turn of events, there has been a response from Katie Proudfoot of the allegations and admissions, revelations, whatever it is you want to call them. And it's very interesting to kind of break this down here. And I think she left, this is a comment off of Facebook or something along those lines. And I'm going to read it to you here and react to it a little bit. The child was not.
So we reacted to her reaction, and now he's reacting to her reaction, and we're reacting to his reaction. All right. It's all love, everybody. All love.
Not 13. And we did not allow my son to be abused. We contacted all authorities. My son received all the available help he could get. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know because he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. So she's unequivocally denying the story that Seth had put out yesterday. And
we watched that with you guys all yesterday, 3.5 hours on a live stream to get the case of Katie Proudfoot and Seth Rogers going head to head, okay, and bringing Sebastian home. So, Carly, if you can throw a link for the lab, let's keep going. All of these reactions are important, and they get out to the people we want them to get out to. Today is proof with what we did with the deception detective and him doing the video for us.
a lot of it, like I said, I think it was a lot of it due to frustration. And let me see where. So, I mean, she's saying the kid wasn't 13. They did alert the authorities, and that he received all possible help. Now, if you kind of notice here, you know, she's very adamant with we contacted all the authorities, whoever those are, and he received all the available help he could get. Now, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But we'll move forward here a little bit. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know because he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. There is so many lies in this story, including him.
Yeah, he's getting heated too. We're all getting heated. And I had to take a phone call, so I did that with you all.
Failing to mention where Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies, where at the time my son was seeing a psychiatrist and psychologist to help him with his trauma from Seth's abuse and the trauma from being assaulted by this child. First of all, my biggest issue with kind of what she's saying here is that she's alleging that that there's abuse.
Yep.
Now, we've heard admitted abuse from Christopher Proudfoot. He has admitted
1 second
to this. And Katie didn't seem to have such a problem with Sebastian being whipped or whatever it is that Chris claims that he did. Now you try to turn it on Seth as being, violent tendencies. What are violent tendencies? Are they violent acts? Is it's a tendency to violence? What violence are we talking about? Are we talking about a belt spanking incident? What are we talking about here? Because it's been alleged as well that Katie Proudfoot was abusive as well. Now, all of these allegations you can feel however you want about it. Every single family has dirty laundry, and what happens when there's trauma, when there is crisis, and whatever, this kind of stuff starts to percolate and bubble over, and that's kind of what you're seeing now. So moving on, let me be clear. I think it is sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. Well, let me be clear. I think that it's sickening that you, Katie Proudfoot, did not call Seth when Sebastian went missing. I think that it was really weird that Christopher Proudfoot had to call, and he started off the conversation by saying, "Don't be upset." I think that's sickening.
Thank you, the lab, for running my show while I was gone. Friday night, everybody. Stuff to do. All right, keep going.
My son deserves better than that. When we find him, and I believe in my heart we will, the truth will come out. What truth is that? That's what I don't understand. The truth.
Yeah.
The truth about his disappearance. Okay. That
tell us, Katie.
We await with bated breath for the truth about that, wherever that truth may come from. The truth that she's talking about, though, is something that has already happened. And now I get it. She doesn't want to air it out or whatever it is that she's not wanting to do. But Chris was really the first one to say, well, the reason I don't want Sebastian around my daughter. And everybody would go, well, why would that be, Chris? Well, we got an answer. He is doing his best to slander us as parents. First of all, I don't think he's doing his best. I think he could probably do better, but
he can't actually do better right now, I think, in my opinion, because he can't tell everything. So the fact that he can't tell everything is due to the cops. And thank you so much again, Krieg Santi. You're so kind. Yesterday you helped me out as well. I appreciate you so much. Now, they have a lot to say when they defend themselves, but they have nothing to say about their missing child. I absolutely 110% unequivocally, undeniably agree with you. That is the weirdest thing, right? They have a lot to say, but not a lot to say about him and what happened. I love the lab's reaction to this as well. So let's keep going.
okay. He's doing his best to slander us as parents, but my son is loved and cared for and always will be. This is the son that's missing that you failed to call the biological father to just on a whim. I digress. Public opinion based on lies, assumptions, half truths is rampant because of things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. It may not have anything to do with finding Sebastian, but it could have something to do with why Sebastian went missing. There's a distinct difference. Now,
when I heard that, I absolutely agree. It might not have anything to do with finding him, but it has to do with why and what happened. But they're trying to deflect, and that's why she doesn't want to hear this.
I understand that you may think that it doesn't help find him, and it very well may not, but it very well may help to know why he's missing. Possibly. I will not stoop so low as to partake in the back and forth argument with him. Well, that's exactly what this is.
Right.
This statement, what you're doing right here is partaking in the back and forth. So yeah. I get it. You want to walk the high road, and you're welcome to do that. However, this statement and the things that you had just said and alleged are exactly what you said that you didn't want to do. You should have called Seth. God knows the truth, and you hear this a lot too. As long as God knows the truth, everything's good with them inside. And, if that makes people sleep better at night.
Does that sound like Ruby, Frankie, and Jody Hildebrandt? Anybody? And what did we diagnose them as being?
Good for them. God knows the truth. But, other people probably want to know the truth as well. So, but what is the truth? The truth is that you have nothing to do with this. Is that the truth, or the truth is what happened? And you'll find out that maybe we know more, or maybe we don't, but we had nothing to do with this. Is that the truth? Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian, because that is the most important thing. Agreed. I often wonder, I know that there are times where children, autistic children go missing, and, police or sheriffs or, a lot of times kids with autism will hide from.
And don't forget, everybody, the lab. Go ahead and go to his channel after and subscribe. Hopefully you like his stuff. Hopefully you know who he is. But I love his reaction to this, and I love reacting to reactions. And we're reacting to Katie Proudfoot's reaction right now. Let's listen to him for a minute.
from strangers that are either shouting their name or whatever. And a lot of times parents are taken out into the woods or wherever they think that their child with autism may be missing, because they'll respond to the parents and for the calling of the child, because the child recognizes their voice. Maybe they're lost and hiding or something like that. I think it's interesting that
Yeah, all of this very interesting, very just self-serving in her response, and then putting it on Reddit. I also wanted to stop and thank Joyce Batista as well as James. You guys just rocked. I got $10 from Joyce and $5 from James. Thank you so much. Let's keep going.
none of that happened. It doesn't really mean anything, but I mean, it typically happens when you have a child with special needs that goes missing, or that they're searching for, or if they ran off and they're hiding because they're scared, or whatever the reason may be. And I want to say this as well. I don't believe for a second that the sheriff's department is operating like this isn't a crime. I know that their statement says that we have no evidence of a crime.
It says they have no evidence of a crime, but I don't for 1 second believe that they're cleared either. I think the police are just, if they actually said that, I think they're just telling them that so that they can get comfortable, talk about it, slip up, leave evidence, whatever. And I didn't even know that they had sold their house. I know they moved, but if they did sell their house, it's another way to distance themselves from Sebastian and get rid of evidence.
They sure called in TBI and the FBI really quick. I understand calling in the search parties and all that kind of stuff, but TBI, FBI, you're not thinking that that it's just a normal runaway situation. In my personal opinion, I don't think that they would think that this is such a crazy situation that they need TBI and the FBI. They've very much made it seem like it's not that crazy of a situation, that it's really, we have no idea what happened. And that may be true. That may be true. I know that they threw the kitchen sink at this, especially when he first went missing. I know that law enforcement wants to solve it. Sometimes, though, the people that either perpetrate these crimes or are responsible for these disappearances, they do a really good job of making that difficult for law enforcement. Who knows how long Sebastian had been missing? Who knows how long of a gap there was before?
That is the thing. I was wondering the same thing, and he's actually just kind of working it out with himself. I'm not muted anymore. I was muted. I am too bear. I was talking to my daughter, so I muted it. Yeah, I didn't want to have you to hear that I said she has to stay in the house. Anyway, so yes, we don't know when he actually went missing. She said it was 10 o'clock that night when she heard a thud, went to bed. Next morning, woke up, he was gone. Do we actually know that he didn't go missing the day before at some point? Maybe something happened, maybe a spanking or a swatting, what they call it, got out of control. Or maybe him and his mom had something go on, since the stepdad had a solid alibi. That's weird words to say. That's a weird statement. If my daughter went missing, I would never say, well, I have accounted for time from 3:33. I would never say that. I would be talking about different things. So do we know? Does anybody know? Can you vouch for the fact that he didn't go missing the day before? it's interesting to, and I keep running in my mind, did he really go missing that night?
Law enforcement was called. I mean, you have that kind of from 10 o'clock to 6 in the morning window. And that's a long time. That's a very long time.
It is a long
A lot
time.
can happen in that amount of time. I don't necessarily believe that they have no evidence. I would assume that they have something. The only reason I assume that is because of all the agencies involved. They say they have nothing to indicate this or that. Well, I mean, they searched the landfill and they're searching a certain area. And
Yeah, the fact that they're searching landfills and using scent dogs, cadaver dogs, they tried to minimize it and say it was a scent dog. If you notice, Katie and Chris both said scent dogs real quick. They wanted to get rid of that cadaver word. Now, if you're just listening, I'm going to read I Am Two Bears comment, and here's a fact. Sebastian Rogers was last seen at 6:30 at the Roadhouse the day before, 6:30 p.m., and then 6 a.m. Monday. So there's the facts for you. Now we know we can have the timeline in our head. I read it the other day, but I don't have it memorized or pulled up. So thank you. I Am Two Bear and everybody in the crime crew. I love each and every single one of you. All right, let's keep listening to him.
and they say it's just by happenstance. I don't believe that. And it's cop talk. And, I'll talk about the press conference another time, but, that was sort of, just kind of, hey, we're out here looking, settle down type situation. But anyway, there's Katie, not responding, but responding, and not stooping, but stooping. And look, who knows what happened? Hopefully we get those answers. And I hope that Sebastian is found soon and in good condition.
Me too.
And that he can continue.
I do have to be completely transparent with every one of you and let you know that I, at this point, don't think that he's playing video games at somebody's house. I don't buy into the theory that Chris and Katie have him somewhere and they're moving him place to place. I honestly, truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that if we get him to come home, that he's not going to come home alive. So I think that Seth Rogers needs hope. He needs hope in his heart to keep fighting and keep looking for him. But I don't think that at this point, over a month, with the circumstances, that Sebastian Rogers is going to be found playing video games somewhere. I Am Two Bears, says Seth, saw the video of them leaving the Roadhouse, and it was also confirmed by the waitress. That's what I was thinking too, that there was video and it was confirmed. And Stephanie blah bitty blah says, Jay, I agree. And I know law enforcement will tell you anything after 24, 48, 72 hours. Then you get into a week, the possibilities are very low that somebody is going to be found alive. And when they are, it is a miracle. So I hate saying that. And I hope Seth Rogers doesn't get wind of what I'm saying. I don't want to hurt his feelings or, break his heart, or I think he might know, but he needs to have that hope so he can keep fighting. Carson C says, why would the mother move away? She had all the resources, the neighbors, the home, the food. That's a good question, Carson. Why would the mom move away? You know what she said when they asked her that? She said, because Sebastian could be anywhere. So we're everywhere and we could find him anywhere, everybody. So it's okay if I move away and go with my husband to work because we can find him somewhere. All right, so let's listen to this guy a little more. The lab.
To progress and live with his father as the plan went. Right now it's a real stumper, but I do feel bad for everybody involved, especially Sebastian. first and foremost. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please hit the like, share, and if you haven't subscribed, thank you.
He's speaking for both of us, everybody. He's definitely speaking for both of us. Wow. And her reaction is just, it's very troubling. And I'm going to sit here and answer some questions or just put some comments out there. Jessica Parks, supposedly money troubles and lots of debt. Yeah, I heard that too. But a lot of people have money troubles and are in debt when they're searching for a missing child. They start to run out of money because they can't work. And that doesn't stop us. We all have money troubles and we all have debt. We're in house debt, so to speak. We all have this big debt and this big mortgage, and that's not going to stop us for searching for our kid if we really want to be there. So I don't understand what their plan is. I don't understand how they think that people can see them in a different light than they are. Yeah, CJK, that makes no sense. You stay put unless he's been confirmed to be seen elsewhere. That's why everybody's so suspicious of you, Katie. It's because you're not being transparent and your answers that you're giving are just not right. JLR investigates. I know he's a little bit kooky sometimes in what he says, but what has he got? I'm going to play this a little bit because we talked about this just now and his last whereabouts being at the Roadhouse. And guess what? JLR, he goes and does all these crazy things. He's a little bit cuckoo, but he was out there an hour ago and he's out at the Roadhouse. So I want to share this with everybody. I like to play stuff as it comes in and as it comes in like immediately, unless I'm doing something from like before wherever they've been convicted. So let's watch this for a little bit, okay?
JLR investigates, reporting from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Come on in, everyone. Let's talk. Boots on the ground.
Remember, boots on the ground, Texas Roadhouse. This is where he was last seen, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Let's watch it, okay? Stay with me.
Covering the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian Rogers, 15 years old, with autism, vanished sometime around the 26th of February, 2024, according to his mom, Katie Proudfoot. 6 weeks now, Sebastian has not been found. Boots on the ground, back out the area, covering searches, trying to bring some insight and perspective. I am out front of the Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville. Let's talk about the Texas Roadhouse, ladies and gentlemen. This location here could have possibly be the last stop of Sebastian Rogers before Sebastian Rogers.
All right, so now we're hearing something. We're hearing some real talk, some real speculation that has some validity to it to back it up. So this is the last time he was seen. It could have been the last time he was alive. Let's listen to what he has to say. You guys can go after and check out his channel. If you don't know who he is, I'm sure you do. JLR investigates.
Rogers went missing. In this Texas Roadhouse, a little bit after 6 p.m. on February 25th, the day before Sebastian was reported missing. Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian were inside this Texas Roadhouse. It was just those two. And they got meals. The waitress told me, we had a conversation in Facebook Messenger. The waitress that served them told me Sebastian ate salmon. Then they left. Where did they go from there? Well, we're going to take you around the area. I'm going to show you what this area looks like, perspective. Maybe some surveillance around here, maybe not.
Does this give you guys a better idea of the last day that Sebastian was seen? I hope it does, because it's given me a better idea and a good possibility that something could have happened after this rather than at 10 o'clock at night, like Katie's saying.
Maybe a law enforcement came around and looked for surveillance. Maybe not. We heard that Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father, reviewed video footage from Sebastian in this parking lot here. It's right next to a Fairfield Inn, and coincidentally, there's a restaurant next here called Jonathan's. That's a Jonathan's restaurant. I saw that coming in. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got a restaurant named after me. I feel honored. Texas Roadhouse. So I'm going to spin the camera around. I'm going to give you guys a boots on the.
I like him because he is boots on the ground. If I can be out there doing that, I would. I don't know what his YouTube channel pays him or what. If anyone knows, I know he has a lot of followers and subscribers and all that. So he's able to go out and travel and do this. And we appreciate you, JLR. No matter what people say about you.
The ground perspective of this area. We're going to talk. One thing I find interesting is on the other side of the Fairfield Inn there's a park in a river. There's a park in a river and a lot of wooded area. I saw that coming in. I'm like, because folks, this location here, from here to the Shackle Island address of where Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot lives, where there's no signs of Sebastian there, it's about a 10-minute, 15-minute drive from here. It's like 5.5 to 5.7 miles in that range. The question is, did Sebastian Rogers really return home on that night of the 25th? Katie came up with a timeline where she claims that they did return home. There has been no evidence that any of us seen on this case that Sebastian Rogers was in fact home. Katie Proudfoot claims that Sebastian went out and took the trash out. Katie Proudfoot claims that she told Sebastian go to bed at 9 o'clock. Katie Proudfoot claims around 10 o'clock she heard a thud.
Yep, and now we're all caught up. All of these claims, nothing to back it up, no cameras, no lights, no clothing that we've heard about. She did say that she's turned everything over, but this is great information, JLR, and you do work hard for your money, and we appreciate you.
Sebastian is okay. He said, yeah. Katie Proudfoot then claims eventually she went to bed around midnight. Katie Proudfoot claims that she woke up, went to Sebastian's room around 6 a.m., and he wasn't there. And eventually, Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot together on a three-way call authorities. Don't call 911. They call the authorities directly. But is that timeline? Should we believe that timeline? Or did something happen here at the Texas Roadhouse? Before the Texas Roadhouse, ladies and gentlemen, before this location that they went to, they were at a bowling alley.
Good question.
A bowling alley.
All right. Did you hear that? So the bowling alley was first and then the Texas Roadhouse. So he's got the timeline down.
Anything transpire there? Now, I talk to people. People come up with rumors and speculations. That's all we can do at this point is speculate until we get more information. Pretty much a lot of the information thus far, it's factual that they were here. My question is a little bit about the bowling alley. Like, something going on at the bowling alley. Somebody had a suggestion that Sebastian had bowling shoes with him. And maybe there was an argument over Katie and Sebastian over the bowling shoes. That maybe Sebastian kept on his feet when he left the bowling alley. Maybe whether that was by accident or not. But, that's just rumor. It's just.
And it could have been anything, everybody. He seemed to irritate Katie quite a bit. The way they both talk about him, both Chris and Katie, the Proudfoots, they talk about him like he annoyed them quite a bit.
Rumor. And we will talk about rumor, but just, again, speculation. So I'm going to spin the camera around. This place is very, very busy. Remember, when they were eating here on February 25th, it was a Sunday. Another thing, folks, is daylight savings time didn't happen yet at that time. And they were eating here, according to the waitress that I spoke to, they were eating here six-ish. And at that time, February 25th, 2024, the sun went down about 5:44 p.m. The sun was going down at 5:44 p.m. So when they left this place.
Can you turn your truck off in the background, sir, or your motorcycle so we can hear JLR? Anyway, he's breaking it down real nice for us, and it's good to see these things and him tell us about the daylight saving times, which means that it was either not dark. He said it hadn't happened yet, so that means that it was dark, I believe. Daylight saving times confuses me. Tell me in the comments.
After they ate, it was dark out, folks. It was dark out. Hello? Somebody said, JLR investigates. The big truck right there. They said, JLR investigates. They watch the channel. A lot of locals watch the channel. I appreciate that. But we're trying to figure out this mystery. But I'm going to take you on a walk. I'm going to spin the camera around. It's cold out here today. It's only 50 degrees. It came from 80 degrees to 50 degrees. We're going to spin the camera around. Texas Roadhouse, folks. Here we go. So it's this location here. For a fact, they were here.
It was a Sunday, everybody. So Sundays are usually pretty busy when it comes to eating out. I know around my area in big cities, if you go to the Roadhouse, I've been to the Texas Roadhouse. I love that place. It's very busy on a Sunday. So it probably was. That's without speculating, just common sense and logic.
They were here. And there's some sort of surveillance that they have, authorities have. Most likely they park. It's so the cars are parking on the side here. Look at this restaurant, Jonathan's. How's the reception? Are we all right on the reception? I might have to, give me a second, because I think I'm on their Wi-Fi, on a Wi-Fi. So give me a second. I'm going to switch something up a minute. Oh. All right, back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm back. Let me know if the reception gets better here now. It's better now. Back. I was actually on the Wi-Fi, so it probably was much better now.
Not better.
Much better.
Sorry, guys.
Much better. Okay. Yeah. I kept getting Wi-Fi connected and it kept spinning, and I was like, oh man, not in those situations. So we got to get off the Wi-Fi. So we're back. Texas Roadhouse, folks. Texas Roadhouse. This location right here. So you got the parking lot. You got the Texas Roadhouse parking lot. Right next door, you got the Marriott. But I want to go over here. I want to go over here, folks, and show you something. Right next door, Jonathan's. So
and while he's walking, I'll just tell you quickly, Brand Trav, nowadays they do have cameras everywhere, and they probably do have it on camera, but they don't know what happened after they left. So we're going to listen to him and see what he says. But also the police aren't going to tell them they caught them hitting him in the back of the car or whatever may have happened.
And that's the Texas Roadhouse parking lot. You have you see, it's just a big field. But over there is a river.
A river. Did you hear that? That could be important.
The search is to find out what happened to 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Now, I'm just wondering, folks, did the mother, Katie Proudfoot, make any other stops after Sebastian and Katie left the Texas Roadhouse? Did they pull into another parking lot or pull into another business or make another stop or go somewhere else before they returned home? And that to me is the mystery of this whole situation, because I don't see any evidence at this time that they made it home.
And hopefully he walks over there. And I agree. We don't see any evidence that they made it home from there. And we don't know what happened in between that time frame of them leaving and then going home to that, 6 a.m. in the morning. So hopefully he's walking to the river, everybody.
Oh, it's all Katie's version. It's all Katie's version. Less the police know, but you would think the police would validate that, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that. at all. Doesn't seem like they're doing that at all. There's the Texas Roadhouse. Massive parking lot. Right next to the Texas Roadhouse, it looks like over here is some sort of highway. We'll go over here to see. To get home from this location here is about 10 minutes, give or take a few minutes either way. It probably depends on the traffic. They returned home, or she returned home. We still don't know if Sebastian returned home, but it was dark, Sunday night.
So it was Sunday night. They were at the Texas Roadhouse, and I'm still not clear. I know the husband was gone. So was she just with Sebastian and the other kids, or what was the deal with that on the in between? I have the timeline down, but I'm not too sure about that. Now, Seth said Sebastian can swim like a fish, but if something happened and he ended up in the river, it might be from Katie or whatever happened. If they fought, we don't know.
To me, it's like, why wouldn't the authorities search all around the area by the Texas Roadhouse?
Agreed.
Or have they? And we just don't know. Have they? And we just don't know.
So until I'm seeing this video, I was thinking that the house may be the crime scene, but everybody, we don't know if it's a crime, first of all. Sebastian's missing. People do not go and disappear into thin air. JLR is correct in saying that this could be a crime scene over here. The river, any of this area could be a crime scene.
So right next to the Texas Roadhouse, you got a major road there. Indian Lake Boulevard, it says. It says Indian Lake Boulevard. Lots of street surveillance.
Wait, I'm going to have to stop. Sadie's mama family was with them bowling and shopping, and then they went home for Sebastian to shower and eat. But they were just at the Roadhouse eating. So why did he go back home and eat? That makes zero sense.
Likely on those traffic lights. To the back of the parking lot, you got an eventual park behind the Fairfield Inn. It looked like a park area and a river. I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
I'm wondering why more people are interested in the Madeline Soto case than in this one. Very interesting. It took me a while to pick up on this too.
Looks like it all trees and everything like that. But I'm going to take you out there and take you around to the river. And we're just going to look anyway and kind of walk and talk and bring awareness to Sebastian Rogers.
such a different perspective, everybody.
Comment, it says, did Katie always take a photo every time they went to dinner? Was she securing an alibi? Did meet up with Chris after dinner? Well, great question. Thank you for the comment, nickel for a pickle, right? Did after Katie ate with Sebastian, did Katie meet up with someone? Did Katie meet up with someone, or did someone meet up with them? And that is a good question. Did Katie and Sebastian have any interactions with anyone after they ate? After they ate. And that's a great question.
We don't know.
Because when Katie says she went out to eat, she never discloses the location to any media. We had to find this out on our own. We had to find it out on our own, folks, that she was in fact at Texas Roadhouse. This was corroborated with a waitress that served them. This is from information that I got through neighbors that this was the last stop, Texas Roadhouse.
Isn't that interesting that they had to find out from neighbors and cameras instead of Katie? What is she hiding when she doesn't tell them this? I don't get it.
So the question is, hold on, I'm looking on my phone here. I got a map. And I want to show you something on this map, just to show you generally where I am right now. This is the location where I'm at right now. We're going to go. We're going to look on a map. The question is, did they go to anywhere else? Or even go anywhere else around here? You got a Fairfield Inn. Let's go over here. Now, some of this stuff I'm reviewing for the first time. But I'm trying to mentally picture if Katie really returned home or not with Sebastian.
Right.
Or was Katie meeting someone else between the Texas Roadhouse there and their home? Or do you think they returned home? Some people think, hey, Sebastian returned home. But I know that what I've found out since I've been up here, this is my second time up here now. What I found out speaking to all the neighbors, and I've communicated with 6 of their neighbors. 6 of their neighbors.
He's doing his due diligence. I don't think all of us should be out there talking to neighbors and such, because then they're going to get tired of it. They're not going to want to talk. Stories are going to change. So JLR, lots of credit to you. Everyone should not be doing this, but we're getting answers and we appreciate it.
6 different neighbors. Few of them are on their street. Few of them are on Kellyan, right off of the main road going in. And they have told me, these neighbors have told me, no evidence that they know of through the neighborhood of Sebastian returning home. There's no other neighbor has a secret surveillance or had them on ring camera. Remember, Katie told Nancy Grace that once it's dark, you can't see stuff coming from the neighbor's ring camera. She said that.
She did.
They returned home at dark, if they returned home at all. Katie at least returned home. We know that. But the question is, did Sebastian return home?
That's the question of the year, folks. Did Sebastian return home? And why was Katie so aware in her interviews? She wasn't aware about a lot of things, didn't give us a lot of answers, but she was really aware that there was no lights and no cameras in her area and in certain spots. So why is that? And why are we looking at her so closely? Is it because she's giving off those vibes of doing something, and because of the way she's putting blame on Sebastian? That's the question of the year, JLR.
Now people say, hey, JLR, keep looking over the fencing. And what I was telling you was there's like a riverbed a long riverbed behind here. I want to know, and I reached back to the people I spoken to before at Texas Roadhouse. I want to know if there was any, like, the surveillance of Sebastian and Katie at the Texas Roadhouse here. I want to know how their body language are. Were they in good spirits? Were they leaving and everything was normal? Was everything, peaches and cream before with them? Like Katie, walking with Sebastian, hugging him, or they're holding hands and walking. Or was there some sort of issue? Maybe Katie yelling at him or something like that.
You know what? I think they were already at that point. Everybody, if you want to hear the real information is that Sebastian was going to live with Seth right after the break. So I believe it was spring break or some kind of break of some sort. And his dad had already lined up him going to school. I think the Proudfoots were definitely tired of a lot of things. And Chris said he did not want Sebastian around his daughter. So we know kind of the dynamics that were going on in that house.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know what the surveillance looks like. So, maybe Seth Rogers knows that. Maybe he saw full video or just partial video. But you definitely know there's video at Texas Roadhouse. Every business got surveillance. They were here. But behind here is a massive riverbed and a park that goes all the way around. I'll take you around down there. We're going to go down there for the first time.
Great. Okay, now we get to see the river that was near. You got to imagine that cops are wondering the same thing, or they've got to have that written down somewhere that this is a possibility. Everybody,
and see what's up. Now I'm next door at the Fairfield. I'm at the Fairfield Inn. So Texas Roadhouse, Fairfield Inn. So let's march along. They got all kinds of like streets here and sidewalks. We'll walk along the sidewalk, and we'll talk about this case. I
almost did it before, but here I was like,
I asked Ryan if I could peel a bunch of things. He said no.
All right, so leaving Texas Roadhouse, you really can't if you go to the right, if you come to the right, you're really going to just come, well, you could maybe go over there to the Sam's Club over there. Because there's the Sam's Club, there's the Fairfield Inn, there's a restaurant called Jonathan's. So I want to know, from this point, which way did Katie Proudfoot in her vehicle with Sebastian leave this Texas Roadhouse?
We all want to know. Another good question, and I've seen it throughout, or maybe somebody said it, when a child has autism, autistic, any kind of special needs, they get a check every month. I wonder if that check was helping the parents out a lot, quite a bit, actually. And that was a motivation for having him in their custody.
Here it is, Texas Roadhouse. Well, I've reached back out to my Texas Roadhouse connections, and I'll try to find more information. Let them also know I'm in the area here. I don't want to go in there on a live stream. I don't think that would be appropriate just to walk in on YouTube Live. When we get more information, I can definitely come back here. Last stop, Sebastian's last stop, right here. Is that the last stop or not?
All right, everybody, make sure your gifting options are on. I'm going to give another membership out right now, so stay on the channel. Make sure that your settings are allowing you to receive a gift. I want everybody to be part of the Crime Crew official. All right, let's keep watching while I gift another membership.
Now you got a business, Jonathan's. Look at that. So now you got this situation up here. You can walk up this way. So I got a Michelle L. I just saw your comment here. Maybe she knows where he is and plans on keeping him there so nobody knows where he is to keep something else from coming out. Could she have him placed him with someone in her family? Have you checked more into her family? Thank you, Michelle L. I just saw your comment. Sometimes it takes me a while to respond to comments because I got a lot of people in here in the chat. Michelle, that's a great question. Was Sebastian passed off to another family member? And when we think about that, a lot of us, right, we're like, oh, well, whose family, who would he be passed over to? Would Sebastian be passed over to a friend? And people probably say, nah, not friends, right? Why would a friend take a kid away? What about a family member? Who in the family is closest to Sebastian, Katie, and Chris? Well, a lot of people point the finger to the Bauer Sox. Now, we're not saying the Bauer Sox did anything wrong. We're not saying that. But a lot of people in these chats have spoken about Chris Proudfoot's parents, particularly their trip to Alaska. There's people right now literally passing out flyers in Juneau, Alaska. There are. When I get those photographs, I'll share it with you. There's people actually bringing awareness to Sebastian in Juneau, Alaska. The reason being is Proudfoot's parents took a trip right after Sebastian went missing to Juneau, Alaska. And a lot of people speculate that, hey, did the Proudfoot's parents take Sebastian to Alaska? I don't think so, but people are saying it. Anything's possible at this point, considering that they just did a search and everything is on the table here. Still, that thorough search, Long Hollow Pike, right by the Proudfoot's home, they went 2 days. They didn't do it today. It went 2 days. Going down those, all the tree lines, by the church, by the school, by the volunteer fire department, nothing. So, did Katie and Sebastian at this location return home? Did they return home? Did they return home?
Good question.
So assuming
we should
that they parked in this parking lot, you could go out that way. You could go to the Fairfield and you go around by the Sam's Club, or you could go out this way. You could cut through maybe, or you walk this way. Now here's a business called New York Pie. It says New York Pie. Let's proceed to walk. Let's proceed to walk. Go take a walk in the neighborhood and see what's going on. I just wanted to know if there's any type of, there's a Starbucks right there. So there's a Starbucks. Somebody said Starbucks? Yes, Starbucks. Some people probably in this chat are from this area. We got a Starbucks. So you got a pizza place, you got a Starbucks, you got Texas Roadhouse, you got Jonathan's, you got Fairfield Inn, you got...
Yeah, this is very insightful, everybody. I'm glad I just found this stream. He did it about an hour ago. It's about an hour long. I'm not sure if we're going to stay on the whole thing, but I just gifted another membership. So I hope one of the people in the crime crew want to be a crime crew official. We just hit 111, which is an angel number. Let's all pray for Sebastian Rogers' safe return home or return home, however it may be. Let's keep watching. Hope you get a membership, everybody.
Sam's Club. Katie and Sebastian, they driving here? Do they make a left? Or do they proceed straight? Well, I want to show you something down the road a little bit. How are you? All right. Yes. They waved hi to me.
We all love you, JLR.
I want to go down the street a little bit because I'm going to go down to this river area and just take a walk in the park.
We get to see the river finally, everybody.
You got Sam's Club. You got the gas station. And that's another thing, folks, with Katie Proudfoot on her day trip, right, on the 25th. All these activities that she claims she did. BJ's, bowling alley, Colossal Snacks, Texas Roadhouse, though she doesn't say it out of her own mouth. We had to find that out on our own. Did she stop, make other stops? Did she stop at a Circle K or some sort of gas station? Go all over the place, unless she started out with a full tank of gas. She make other stops.
Very good, insightful information. And I really want to see the river. I wish he was moving faster. I wish he had like a scooter or something.
That we don't know about. Omitting information. Like, maybe just give what we want to know. But there's things left out. Or was she accurate? Was Katie Proudfoot accurate?
She couldn't be that accurate because she didn't tell very many details at all.
I'm going to jump over to the other side. And we'll walk along the sidewalk. So let me show you something up here, folks. Remember I said, if they come out of Texas Roadhouse, they could turn right here. They could turn right here, right? And go onto the main drag. Now, what I've noticed, there's the Texas Roadhouse. That's Texas Roadhouse right up here. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Look what we got. Look what we got. Look on the top of the, yeah, surveillance. Video. Video at the light. So if they went this way, cameras. So did authorities review the cameras here to determine, you remember, no stone left unturned, folks, right? No stone left unturned. So the very first turn coming out of Texas Roadhouse onto this route, if they went that, but again, they could go this way. But if she came out this way, if Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian came out this way, guess what, folks? You are getting street cams, cameras on all corners. All 4 corners have cameras. Are they working? Well, you would want them to work, right? You would want them to work. Cameras everywhere. We live in an Orwellian society, folks. Cameras. Cameras. Camera. Camera. Camera.
All right, JLR, that's a good point. There's cameras everywhere. So look at what they did with the Madeline Soto case. They got cameras and they saw that she was strapped into the seatbelt and they believed for her to have already been dead. I wonder what the cameras got. I wonder if Sebastian ever made it home. Now there's lots more questions that I'm just swirling in my mind, wondering.
Camera. They're everywhere, folks. All 4 corners of this intersection here. Cameras. So if she pulled out here, she'd pull out this way, she would be seen on camera. Not only would she be seen on camera, folks, but they would see what direction she went. 5.7 miles from this location, about 5.5 miles from this location to the Proudfoot's home.
All right. Now we know.
They checked the cameras. Now, again, we're assuming that I'm assuming she didn't return home with Sebastian. Maybe Sebastian did return home, but we're trying to retrace these steps. Because these steps.
So JLR is he's assuming that he never even returned home. So he's got a different perspective. I'm trying to be, trying to weigh in based on logic and reason. And the more evidence I hear, the more logic and reason I can work out in my mind. So I'm not sure where he's coming from. I don't know what he saw or what people told him, but he doesn't even think that Sebastian made it home. So let's keep watching this guy and see where he takes us on the river or to the river and what other thoughts he has. He knows more than we do, being boots on the ground, everybody.
Can also reveal clues. Particularly follow the cams. Follow the cams. If she's caught on camera turning this way or turning that way, whatever like that, then check out the next cam and the next cam and the next cam and determine whether she made some stops or interacted with anyone or met someone. There actually, I believe a theory in this case is, someone took Sebastian somewhere in a vehicle. Well, retrace the steps. Did they or did they not? One thing that's disturbing about the Texas Roadhouse is the waitress at the time was saying that authorities didn't even speak to the waitress that served them. Which
that
I thought was
happens.
odd. Now, maybe they spoke to the manager and the management. Obviously, they got some sort of camera because Seth Rogers claims he saw it. But even the waitress wasn't even spoken to. So the waitress claims. Maybe the waitress was, now. I spoke to the waitress, on the 29th, 28th of March? So about a week ago. You would think all the witnesses that saw Katie, last place with Katie, would want, you would think a law enforcement would want.
That happens, JLR. That happens quite a bit. As we're getting into other cases, Delphi especially, there's so many people they could have talked to and they didn't. There's people that they missed. Richard Allen, they missed. He went and told them that he was there on the bridge that day at that time, and they missed it. So if they missed a waitress, you got to give them grace for that.
And go to them and say, hey, how was it? Did you see anything odd? You see anything unusual? You see any fighting? You see them getting along? How were they together? You at least to get a mental understanding. That's no stone left unturned, folks. That's how you do no stone left unturned. Or is that, maybe they did do it. What do you think? So you got that location there, folks. You got that location there. You got surveillance. Now let's go this way. Because there's like a roundabout down here. For people who are just jumping on, JLR investigates, boots on the ground, covering the Sebastian Rogers case. There is Texas Roadhouse, the last stop. We are trying to retrace the steps of Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian Rogers. We are keeping Sebastian's name out there. Trying to figure this mystery out, folks. Star Kisses, thank you. Star Kisses says, I think those are license plate readers, and that's good too. License plate readers, surveillance cameras, they will capture a vehicle. And they store the light. If it's license plate readers, they store that data. And authorities will know exactly your steps, footsteps, paper trail. Got Sam's Club.
Let's go to the river a little bit more. Sorry, guys. I want to see this. All right. This is important to me.
I don't necessarily what you mean by that, Angela, but I appreciate the comment. So right here, folks, right in back of the Texas Roadhouse, there's a lots of tree line, river, trail oriented area.
Lying about what is the question? How many things are they lying about?
And stuff like this piques my interest. It just piques my interest. It piques my interest considering that law enforcement out there searching, and they're searching along the roads and everything like that. But directly behind where Katie and Sebastian ate, you have a type of river area. Or are they going off the theory that Sebastian wandered off without shoes on?
Yeah, that does pique my interest, and I hope it piques yours a little bit. That's very interesting to now know that this place had a river behind it and not even know if Sebastian actually made it home or not. So let's keep watching.
So I want to get some clarification here. We had a question about the grocery shopping. I think what you meant was, does Chris Proudfoot go grocery shopping? I think that's what. Who goes grocery shopping, puts groceries away, and then goes back to eat? Who does that? Who goes grocery shopping, goes home, and then goes back out to eat? And that is an interesting too. Who does that? Do you do that?
That's what I said.
You go grocery shopping, and get all this stuff, and then go home, and then go right back out?
Doesn't make sense.
Some people do. If you want to make it a family fun day for Sebastian, with this river. Has this area in back of Texas Roadhouse been thoroughly searched by authorities? Just as precautionary, I ask, because no stone left unturned, right? No stone left unturned. Has it been thoroughly searched? Beautiful back here, except all this graffiti, all this crazy graffiti.
Remember, everybody, there's gifted memberships right now. Thank you, Nerdy Cat. Just gifted a membership and just joined as a member. So keep an eye out to see if you're a member. There's lots of perks in this community. All right, let's keep going. Very interesting.
Now, I believe down here a little bit more is a school, and then there's an actual park, I believe. But this is why I wanted to take you guys down here to show you that, you know, areas, once you leave Texas Roadhouse, anything is fair game. Anything and everything is fair game. As far as a possible scenario where Sebastian could have went. Could they have gotten a fight in the car? Could, once they have left Texas Roadhouse, Katie and Sebastian, somehow something happened? There was a fight. Let me ask you something. And I say this logically. What did Katie eat and drink? Did she have any alcohol? Did Katie have any alcohol at Texas Roadhouse? Was there any alcohol involved in Katie's system? How would you be able to determine that at this point? Was she drinking when she went out to eat at Texas Roadhouse with her son? Did she drink at all? When they left, during the course on the ride home, if Sebastian made it home, did they get in an argument? Did something happen? Did they fight in the car? They pull over. It's a great question. I'm walking along Drake's Creek, I'm told. Drake's Creek. Remember?
I wonder if the police asked any of those questions. Does anyone know if the Proudfoot's lawyered up or they're having a lawyer during their, and I don't even know if it's an interrogation. They seem very relaxed and very confident and very sure that they're not even suspects. So I wonder if all these questions have even been asked.
Remember that name. We are walking along Drake's Creek. Did she stop? And they say, hey, we're going to go for a walk after we go eat. Shoes. Remember, shoes, it seems like a triggering factor in this too. Whenever there's talk about shoes in the interviews that Katie's has, Chris seems to be interrupting Katie and answers for her when it comes to shoes. Go back and listen to the interviews. When the topic of shoes get brought up, it seems like Chris, Proudfoot. And look at that. Wayne Drake Rogers, Drake River. People are like, Drake River. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but is there any form of symbolism? And, you know, we're just open-minded to anything at this point, right? Open-minded to anything. Let me spin the camera around and stop ranting. Appreciate you guys on this channel. JLR Investigates. Somebody said this is Drake's Creek. So last place Sebastian's at, Texas Roadhouse, and right behind Roadhouse is Drake's Creek.
Food for thought, everybody. Again, we can speculate because we don't have real answers. We hear the Proudfoots arguing with Seth. We hear the media coming at Chris and Katie, but we also hear them not being truthful. And we also hear Chris saying that he's going to take a lie detector test and then not showing up. So that's a red flag.
Interesting. Now I'm going to go down here and see what's up. Angel P says, do you see a lot of flyers? Allegedly, there is a video of their family taking down. No, I have not seen any flyers. And that's one thing that I think in order to get awareness to this case, I think there got to be flyers everywhere. I think you got to put flyers up of all the business. I have not. I stopped at the Speedway before I came here. I didn't see any flyers there. Put flyers everywhere, at least at every single business window. Put flyers. Now, some businesses might not want it up. Well, at least try. Put the flyers out. Get the message out. Now, tomorrow, they said there's a group of, they're having a rally tomorrow at the mall in Hendersonville at noon. I'm going to go check that out. They're having some big rally. So if you guys want to show support for Sebastian, apparently by the mall, Indian Lakes, Magnolia, put the address in the chat that they put flyers out. There are flyers out of this, like, I'm not saying it's a protest, like a rally in support of Sebastian and then calling for an investigation. If
yeah, I think we heard about that yesterday, everybody. If you're missing a lot of this information and you need clarification about the case, just go back to my live from yesterday and take a look there. I time-stamped it for you. It's 3.5 hours. That way you don't have to watch all of it. And congratulations, Lala, Stephanie, blah, bitty blah, also.
If you guys are in the area, go up there and show support. You know, I think the goal for this group, and I'm going to talk to the organizer, maybe interview the organizer, is to get the word out, get the community around here in Henderson more involved so they're aware and they know. Because some people seem like they don't know. As far as Proudfoot's family members, the comment was family members taking down flyers. I haven't heard of that or seen any video of that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. If people are taking down flyers, if people are taking down flyers to try to sabotage some search or anything, shame on them. Why would somebody do that? Sometimes flyers do go up on certain cases I've seen and people rip them down for whatever reason. They might not want them up or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why somebody would be that cruel and do that.
I agree with that. And that happens sometimes, maybe not intentionally, but even like owners of stores and things like that, they don't want that to look bad at their store. So if some people are coming by from out of town, they don't want it to look like a bad town. So those people don't have a heart, in my opinion. I say let the flyers stay up. I don't get it.
I don't know why somebody would be cruel. But yeah, right back here, I'm just showing you one general area. So Magnolia says it is Streets of Indian Lake entrance tomorrow at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. So noon tomorrow, there's some sort of rally in support of Sebastian. There's going to be people there with signs. So if you're in that area, go out, go check it out.
About to say, if you're local, you should go check it out if you can.
Hello, Mr. Rabbit.
You're funny, Jailer. Let's go a little bit forward. I want to see this.
Follow the river. Exactly. Now, here's the thing. This is like some sort of I thought this was maybe a trail. I mean, does authorities have actual footage of Sebastian getting in the vehicle with Katie at the Texas Roadhouse? Do they have actual footage of that?
Good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It's a great question. Because behind the Texas Roadhouse, you got this river and creek. You got the river and creek behind the Texas Roadhouse. Got people walking right there. What do you think?
I don't know about that, JLR. That river doesn't seem too vicious. And if something happened to Sebastian in the river, I mean, I feel like his body would have been found already. It's not like a running fast river. What do you guys think? I don't know about that.
She parked right by the door. She parked right by the door. The way I looked at it, right by the door was a handicapped parking spot. Right by the door.
Very true.
Right by the door. I mean, if you want to do a thorough search, you search from the last location seen on surveillance that can show Sebastian all the way to the house. All the wooded areas.
Absolutely.
I would think so. But man, let's be honest too. It's also a needle in the haystack. This might come down to either someone flipping on someone, or some sort of hiker, or someone walking a dog, or someone going on a nature walk, just stumbling upon Sebastian. If he's out in the woods, he could be alive. He could be in a home somewhere. He could be stashed. But it seems like the authorities, when they're doing all those searches, they're looking in the woods as if he could be in the woods.
That is very true, everybody. They were looking in the woods. I don't know about those woods. That they just don't seem to go deep enough for me, and I feel like they would have found him there unless someone went way out, and that someone would have had to have been Katie. So I don't know about this theory, but did he ever make it home? That's a good question.
But that's what it might come down to as far as, a needle in the haystack. Unless FBI cast gets involved or something, they can really pinpoint the exact location these key players, their phones were at. Maybe that takes time. But we're approaching 6 weeks. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing. 6 weeks. 6 weeks, folks. It's a long time. But the internet, all of you, me, lots of...
Well, Carl, I got to answer that question, or at least comment on it. You say, I'm not convinced the mom and stepdad are as dumb as we assume. I actually don't think they're dumb at all. I think they have some knowledge, some guilty knowledge, some kind of knowledge that they're not sharing with the police. And you say you don't know any idiots living in $500,000 homes, but they couldn't afford that home either. And $500,000 isn't that much nowadays. My house is $1.5 million, and my freaking roof fell in during the rain. And I keep up my house. So, yeah, I don't know. They couldn't afford their house, but I don't know if that means anything on the income they make. I don't think they're as dumb as they look.
Of other people, media personalities, TikTokers, we're all keeping this case alive. So much. The Proudfoots, I don't know what they're up to. They're not out searching. The Proudfoots.
No, they're not. That's another good thing that he's saying. That's very good. They're not searching. And thank you, Carly.
70s in the next couple of days. Well, man. 50s. Now I'm just going to cross the street. We started up here. Bonnie says, have you seen where those two moms disappeared in Missouri? I've been following that case. Don't know really much about that case to be able to comment on that case, and been really concentrating on bringing awareness to Sebastian.
Right. Yes, dumb and inept are two different things. Thank you. I am too bad.
Popping up once a week. It's a new one. It's a new one. On a good note, there was another missing boy with autism from New York, I believe, that was actually found safe. I think he's getting some treatment in a hospital. And that's good news. That's good news. We want happy endings. We want Sebastian Rogers found. We want Summer Wells found. We want Michael Vaughn found. We want these kids found. Safe. Safe. We want these kids found safe. We want a positive outcome. We want them to come, and magically appear. We want to hear those type of stories, right? The survival stories, the stories of miracles.
Everybody, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just know that the light hurts your eyes after a while. So I just took some headache pills, gives you a little bit of headache, but I'm here with you till the end. And I have to bring up something, Linda and the whole crew, Carl, everybody that may not think that the parents are guilty. What is it with nowadays parents not taking responsibility for their kids? Do you think that Katie should be responsible for at least making sure her son's safe in the house at night with the doors locked? And he has autism, and the way they make it sound like he doesn't know how to get home, or he doesn't know his phone number, whatever. If he's not that intelligent like they make it sound, and he makes these weird noises, isn't it her responsibility to make sure he's inside of the house and that he's safe at night? What about that kind of culpability, everybody? Just a little bit.
We want it to happen. And it very well could happen with this case. Thank you. She waved thank you too. She must be watching because she stopped right there. I'm far away. She stopped. She must be watching. Another local. We love the locals of Hendersonville. For sure. For sure. We love the locals of Hendersonville, Tennessee. We love the law enforcement. I got to shake hands with like 7 Hendersonville Police Department officers last time I was here who said they watched the channel. And they're probably out looking for Sebastian too.
Everybody's out looking for Sebastian except Katie and Chris, and I don't know why. Now, if we find out that they're not guilty of anything later on, they are guilty of not being out there and searching for their son, and they are guilty, well, Katie's guilty of not making sure he was safe in that house. He's not smart enough to know his number, but he's smart enough to sneak out with friends. That doesn't make sense to me.
See, across the street up here, then you got this thing that says Warrior Bike Trail. I'm just saying, folks, like, is Sebastian in the woods? Or
Not alive.
That says warning. Do not dredge. Well, this is kind of leaving no stone left unturned. But yeah, you got all types of drainage. You got hills, you got trees, you got every nook and cranny, you got hiding spots. A lot of work, folks.
He's definitely not hiding and alive, everybody. If he's out in those woods, he's definitely not alive. I'll tell you that much.
Sebastian will be found. He will be found. Authorities will get that break. There's too many. In this area, there's too many caring people. There's too many people that care. If more eyeballs and more people become aware, then there'll even be more people that care. Get more people in the area to become aware so more people can care.
111, everybody. It's that magic number again. Everybody in the chat. We're at 111 again. It's that magic number. Say a prayer to send out good vibes for Sebastian. Hit that like button. Let's get this out there. Let's see if Katie responds to the response video that or it wasn't even a video. We did a video. She did a freaking Reddit. She didn't even have enough balls, so to speak, to get out there on camera and say what she needed to say. Let's keep watching. We're almost to the end.
But the people that are aware definitely care. They definitely care. Because a lot of people, a lot of mama bears out there, man. A lot of mamas out there, man. that have kids
Right
with
here.
disabilities, man. And
Crime
when they
crew.
see this and they think about their own, Sebastian, they think of their own children. It could be their own child. People care. People care. I know children. I care. I have a cat. It's sad that these things happen to our future generation, our kids, man, our future generation. Got their whole lives ahead of themselves. So, well, again, let's hope there's something positive out of this. I'm taking you back up to the Texas Roadhouse. We'll end at the Texas Roadhouse. So I'll go back up to the Texas Roadhouse. But it looks like, folks, there's only literally like 3 ways to get out of the Texas Roadhouse. Straight ahead there, turn here, and that one stop up there at the red light up there. 3, well, you could cross the roundabout and go that way too.
So that's a good sign. If there's only 3 ways to get in or to get out, if they have cameras, they're going to have it. We're going to finish up watching this and then we're going to be out for the night. I definitely been on here for a lot of hours now. I'm trying to bring awareness to Madeline Soto and Sebastian Rogers. We did our job. Deception Detective is coming on tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. to react to the Proudfoots. And that guy is a lawyer and he decepts detection. So it's not going to get past him, everybody. I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
But 3 logical ways to get out of here. Which way did Katie Proudfoot take? If Katie Proudfoot ever gives another media interview, and I doubt that she will.
See?
But I doubt like a journalist will ask her these questions. But ask her, hey, Katie, which way did you take home when you left Texas Roadhouse on the 25th after you and Sebastian went to eat? Which way did you return home? What is the route you took home, Katie? When you went home, before you went home, Katie, did you stop anywhere? Did you make any stops? Did you interact with people? Once you got in your vehicle with Sebastian, did you have any interactions with anybody?
I wish JLR could get a hold of her. I wish Deception Detective could actually get an interview with her. And Seriously Innocent, I have to shout out to you. Thank you so much. But what's interesting is my name's Guilty of Crime. So I like that you're the opposite. Seriously Innocent. Very interesting. I'd love to know how you got that name.
Between Texas Roadhouse and when you returned home. Anybody. Gotta ask those questions. Gotta ask those questions. Ask these questions. Did you stop for gas? Did you pull over? Did you go to the convenience store? Did you go get yourself a snack at Circle K or Speedway? Where else did you go? Sunday night. It was Sunday night. Katie, when you went to Texas Roadhouse, Katie Proudfoot, what did you eat there? What did you eat? Did you have any alcohol? Are you on any medications? Even though that might be a privacy matter, but that's up to her to reveal that information. If she wants to reveal the information about her own medications, she can do it. If she wants to release the information about what type of medications Sebastian was on, if he was on any, she can do that. It's not a HIPAA violation. You can share if you choose.
Thanks, Deception.
If you want to. Now let's talk about bowling. I see a lot of people commenting bowling shoes. Shoes. People are talking about maybe Sebastian took the bowling shoes with him from the bowling alley. And there was some sort of argument that transpired. And Katie took it out on Sebastian because Sebastian wasn't wearing his regular shoes. There's people that say that. Melinda, thank you, JLR, for all you do and continue to do for Sebastian. Thank you, Melinda.
Bottom line, everybody, and Lucifer's mom is correct. Bottom line is Sebastian needs to be found. I don't think he's going to be found alive or playing video games. I hope he is, but he needs to be found. We're going to watch him go back up to the Roadhouse and then we're done for the night. But let's continue. Let me go a little bit farther so I can see.
Does somebody come and meet him here?
Good questions.
El Chicken, thank you. JLR, thanks for the videos, brother. A few bones for 1 gallon of Petro and 1 for a cup of coffee. God bless you and be safe out there. Shout out to all your fans out there. Thank you. Thank you for the 1 gallon of gas. But yeah, JLR investigates out here. It's full out here now. Look at all the cars out here. This is like a thing. This whole development here and all the businesses here is like a
Yeah, I'll pause it on that. No, actually, I'm going to lower it so we can watch it and then just talk on the way out. So we're seeing him go. I turn the volume down. I'm talking. Bottom line is that we want justice for Sebastian Rogers. We want justice for Madeline Soto. We know where she is. We don't know where he is. The cases are not intertwined, but their kids being harmed, and we just can't stand that. Everybody that's here. Carl says, I hope the deception guy takes a look at all three, not just two. He did, Carl. I played the video yesterday. Please go watch. He did take a look at Seth Rogers, and he found him to be innocent. Everything about him, he finds innocence. So please take a look at that. Go to Deception Detective's page or go to my video and watch it. He did look at Seth, and now he needs to look at the other two parents, which he's doing tomorrow. We all love JLR, and we love that he's on there doing his due diligence. He always does. He always does. He asks the hard questions. Thank you, Carl. I just wanted to let you know that. Thank you for being new here, and I want to let you know I always want to break it down and let people know the real deal. Seriously innocent, absolutely. Too many innocent. Stop giving them a slap on the wrist. But more importantly, why aren't we giving them the hard questions, everybody? I'm going to, last but not least, Jackie Oliver says, I'm sorry, but Seth is out there at least trying to find this kid, and anybody thinks that Seth is involved. This is all I can say as well. Everybody has their own opinions. Seth wouldn't do this. And right, we all respect everybody's opinion, and I appreciate that. Lucifer's mom, you're new here as well. I want to shout out to you. Every single person that was here tonight. Carly, thank you for giving out memberships. Not just Carly. I have everybody that has Nerdy Cat, new member. Nerdy Cat also gifted a Guilty of Crime membership. Stephanie, blah, 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 gifted one. Carly gifted a whole bunch. Krieg, Santi, thank you for the super chat. Everybody that's here, everybody that's on the last live, everybody seems to be here for the same thing. We're not here to tear people down. Sometimes we do roasts. Sometimes we do tear the person down that we know is guilty. So when we tear down Jody, I can't even talk anymore, Ruby and Jody, Hildebrandt, we know that they're guilty. So let's tear them down. These parents, we don't know. We are definitely speculating. They haven't been found guilty of anything, and it's innocent until proven otherwise, right? Innocent until proven guilty, but that's not how it works in America, and it's not how it works in the eye of us YouTubers and all social media. So we try to break it down and use our logic and reason, and that's what we're doing here. So yeah, we all have the same interest. I think it's GGI. We all have the same interest, truth and answers, and you're welcome. Thank you all for being here so much. Please watch my outro and stay tuned for my response to Deception Detective. I didn't want to say it wrong this time. Yes, that is how the internet works. I am Two Bear, unfortunately. But you know, another thing that's good about the internet is that we make stuff happen, and we're making stuff happen in this case. So let's keep doing it, everybody, okay? And let's do it together.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?